Hello and welcome to You So You. My name's Zoe and this is my channel about all of the crafty bits and pieces I get up to. I knit, I sew, I spin on a drop spindle, dabble with weaving from time to time and all sorts of other bits and pieces as well. I'm here today to tell you a little bit about my experience of my first ever Sew My Style. So grab a brew, put your feet up and let's get started. Okay, so welcome back to any returning viewers, and to any new viewers a very warm welcome to you. So this year I've decided to take part in Sew My Style, so Sew My Style 2020, hashtag SMS20. If you're not familiar with that particular challenge, it's a sewing challenge that's hosted over on Instagram. Every month we get discounts for 2 patterns, so that you have to buy by the end of the month to qualify for the discount. And you can choose whether you want to make one or both, or skip the month of those patterns. And on the last day of the month you post your make to Instagram and they do like a draw. So for January the 2 patterns that we had were the Rad Patterns Courtney bodysuit, which I will insert a picture of here, and also the Tanya Culottes by Megan Nielsen. Again, I will put a picture up. Now I ran out of time to make the Tanya Culottes this month just because January, hectic, but they are on my list to make. I've got the fabric all picked out, I just need to get on and actually make them, so they will be coming soon. I did, however, manage to make the Rad Patterns Courtney bodysuit. In fact, I made 2, but I only posted one of them onto my Instagram feed. Now the pattern itself, it's fairly straightforward, it's quite a quick sew, it's obviously stretch, you need a lot of stretch in the fabric. It calls for 50% horizontal and vertical stretch, which is quite a lot of stretch for fabric. So I went through my stash and I did actually manage to find some fabric that would work for it, so I thought great, don't need to buy any, which is good. Christmas is expensive, so it's nice to not have to buy too much in January. So I did get two these bodysuits made. Now I pretty much lived in bodysuits in the 90s. I still have a bodysuit now that's commercial that I wear. I find them very practical, very comfortable. They're good for like under crop tops to cover up that midriff that I'm not quite willing to show, not just because I'm in my 40s, but also because the cat's been at it. It looks like a pincushion. So yeah, I went for this pattern. It's not one I would have gone looking for. I don't think. It's not something that would have occurred to me as something to have on my list to make at this point in time. So I made it. It's quick, it's simple. Once you get your head around putting on bands for jersey, to make a bit of a pig's ear of the leg bands on the first one, but still it worked. The first one was definitely comfortable to wear, which is this copper brown jersey version. I did sleeves somewhere between what is listed as their 3/4 length and full length sleeve, because the 3/4 length, when I held the pattern piece up to my arm, came to around about my elbow. So they have cap sleeves, short sleeves, elbow sleeves, 3/4 length and full length. But yeah, the 3/4 length was coming to about here on me. And I wanted something a bit longer, so I went sort of midway between full length and the 3/4 length as marked on the pattern. And yeah, that is quite a comfy one to wear. The jersey is quite thin. I might look at narrowing the neckline a little bit more next time I make it. I'll put a twirl of me wearing this first one up here. I made the mid scoop back for both versions. So yes, this one is comfy. There is an issue, however, with the pattern, and that's where the snaps are positioned. When you follow the directions in the pattern, the snaps are positioned at the back of the crotch. It's not ideal. I find it really awkward to do them up. So actually in this twirl you see the bodysuit is just tucked into my jeans. I haven't done it up, so it's a little bit looser around the middle. When it's done up it is a bit tighter, but it's just so awkward to do it up. Once it's done up it's comfy, but I'm not a contortionist, so it may well have the bottom cut off and get turned into a t-shirt, or I might try and cut the crotch apart and switch it around a bit, see if that works, so that the longer bit is at the back and the shorter bit's at the front. So it's like a tab that comes off the front into a placard and then goes to the back, which is much shorter. So I might just cut that off and attach it to the back and switch the snaps around. We'll see. But yeah, overall, it's fine. The second version that I made, which is the version that I posted onto Instagram, again, I can do this version up, but I haven't in the 12. It's just tucked into my jeans. And again, this one is probably going to be cut off and turned into a t-shirt. In fact, this one more so than the other one. I've used the mid-scoop back again. This time I did the full-length sleeves. I've lined the bodice of this one because the velour that I'm using has a burnt-out pattern on it, so it's quite see-through in places. So the bodice is lined and the sleeves are not. I did try and move the snaps further forwards on this one, but I had already traced and cut out the pattern before I realised where the snaps were positioned, so I wasn't able to bring them as far forward as I would have wanted to without some significant reconstruction work. And where I've got the 2 layers in the bodice, it's taken some of the vertical stretch out of the bodysuit. So it's a smidge snug, and maybe about half an inch in length would have made a difference, if that. So it's not like massively too small, it's just a little bit too small to be comfortable. If I do cut off the bottom to turn it into a t-shirt, I'm going to have to go around and do some top stitching to hold the lining down, because at the moment it's trying to sort of roll up through the neckline. But it looks good. I mean, when it's done up, it actually looks fantastic. I'll put up the picture that I put onto Instagram where I was wearing it done up, and I managed to wear it for a few hours before I had to go and undo it for comfort's sake. So yeah, so there are a few tweaks that I want to make to the pattern. I want to move where the snaps are, and I am considering lengthening it slightly if I'm going to use some of this velour again. I've got the same velour in a different colourway, but I do have something else in mind for that, so we'll see. But overall, I'm pleased that I made it. It was a quick make, it was a simple construction. There's just a little bit of an adjustment that I want to make to the pattern if I'm to make it again, and I think I probably will, because I do find bodysuits quite practical, and I've got some fantastic bright red stretchy fabric that would work really well. I also think it would work really well in a scuba, as long as it's got enough vertical stretch. With less vertical stretch, I would definitely be lengthening the bodice piece just to counteract the fact that it doesn't have that 50% stretch. So yes, that's the Courtney bodysuit. Watch this space, the tiny culottes, as I say. I am still going to make them. I think they're going to be a really good addition to my wardrobe. February's makes are already up and available to purchase with the Sew My Style discount. The newsletter has already gone out. It goes out at the end of the month, and it goes out on the 15th of the month. So if you were to sign up for Sew My Style now, you would get discounts for February's patterns on the 15th of February. This is what happened for me in January, which is why I ran out of time. I signed up in January, so I didn't get the newsletter with the discounts until the 15th of January, which obviously left me less time to do my makes. So the 15th of the month comes out with the current month and the next month's discount codes in the newsletter. So if you sign up now, you'll get February and March's discounts in the newsletter on the 15th of February. And the patterns for this month are the Iford jacket, which I will put here, which is, it could be a jacket or it could be a shirt. It seems to be quite a flexible pattern. I do have some fabric in mind that may work for that. We'll see. I've got some on the way for my Minerva Maker projects that is a contender, depending on what it feels like when it arrives. Joy of shopping online. So there's that one, which is quite a likely one to be made, and the other one is this crossbody bag. I'll put the name on screen because it keeps jumping out of my head. And again, I do have some fabric in mind, possibly some from my recycling box, my upcycling box, which if you saw yesterday's video for the Recyclamal, is the box I was talking about there. So that could be a Sew My Style and Recycle Canal project all bundled into one. So yes, those are the contenders for this month. We'll see which ones I get made. It'll be one or both. That's the plan anyway. And I will be back at the beginning of March to let you know how I got on with February Sew My Style makes and give you a bit of an insight into what's coming up for March. In the meantime, there will obviously be a podcast coming in a week or so on this channel, and I will see you soon. So until then, have a great one and bye-bye for now.